What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. So pretty much now my new daily routine every time the truck is warming up is I walk around it to make sure we don't have any new damage on the OBS, because it seems like this thing is an absolute damage magnet, and holy crap, not again. I'm just kidding. Obviously, if you guys watched like, I don't even know, a couple videos ago when we fully got these mirrors fully functional and hooked up, unfortunately, Sergio was trying to pop this mirror off and it ended up cracking. But luckily, Boost Auto has all replacement parts for these mirrors and it is super cheap. It's like a $35 fix. Boost is actually sending me one out, so I'm grateful for that for them. But it is seriously so cool every time I get the truck. I mean, obviously, once you adjust the mirrors, if nobody else drives it, you're never really adjusting the mirrors again, but I'm definitely like getting in here and playing with it, and it's just so cool to me how we got it to work on the factory functioning switch there. So today, guys, we might be committing a cardinal sin on the channel. I know we've been there before, but like this is the most serious we're ever going to approach a Ford dealership. Again, many of you guys follow the channel, so you already know my dad ended up having to sell his Kodiak because California's great won't let you register it in the state anymore as of next year. And that truck was his absolute baby. I mean, he had every little design and feature on that truck he came up with himself. So I know how hard it is to see something like that go. And I think it's time we put Pops back into a luxury truck, bring him up. I mean, that was an 05. Let's get him into some 2020 technology. And you know what? He earned it. So we're gonna go to the Ford dealership today and let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. So normally I'd be taking the Denali because that's the I can afford it truck, which usually gets dealerships to take you a lot more seriously, which is sad, but unfortunately that's the way it works. Hopefully at a Ford dealership, they take it seriously showing up in a really nice, restored OBS. Good news is fuel prices are going down a little bit, still not quite with the rest of the country, but at least we're only paying $307 today. I don't know, guys, feels very weird being at a Ford dealership. I will say one of the other things I wanted to see was with the Rona going around, like how dealerships are operating right now. So they're open, let's see what happens. Shoot, we can get a used one for $49.95. So you guys might remember my old video where I was telling you guys not to buy lifted trucks at the dealership. Chevy and GM, they have the Black Widow package. I guess Ford is rocking the Rocky Ridge package here. Let's see what they're marking up their stuff here. Oh, it does have a pretty sick badge though. I will give them credit on that one. Let's see. Whew. They're saying $20,000 extra on top of the truck for a 6-inch suspension lift, 20-inch wheel tire package, caliper covers. You ain't even getting real calipers. Oh, they calibrated the speedometer for you. That's good. Oh, you get a tailgate emblem, a couple other emblems. Jeez. $20,000 extra. That's crazy. I mean, for like $3 grand worth of parts. Oh, you get 15 grand off though. So I guess technically you're only paying 5 grand. Kinda. I don't know about you, but I would not pay $77,000 for an F-150. All right, well, found the truck section here. Looks like we got a lot of Rangers and F-150s. Obviously, we're looking for something big. I mean, if we're gonna be putting Pops in a new truck, to me, I think we got to get him an F-450. Unfortunately, California being the great state of California, again, the only thing we have going for us is the weather, but we don't get trucks till later after everybody else does. So the 2020 F-450s dropped in like the East Coast and the Midwest in like November, December. So everybody there was able to buy one right in time for tax season. Whereas California, they weren't expected to get here till January, February, and really February, March from all the dealerships that I talked to. So we've been searching all the dealerships around. This dealership that we're at right now supposedly has a 2020 F-450. It's fully spec'd out the way I would want it. Well, a little too spec'd out. So now the key is, where is it? And of course, there's no salesman. We should have pulled up in the Denali. The Denali, I'm telling you guys, the Denali is the I can afford it truck. Salesmen come up to you, show up in anything else, they don't want to talk to you. I mean, really all I'm seeing is all half-ton trucks. There's like one Super Duty up there. Other than that, I don't even know if they got any Super Duties here. All right, good news is the truck's here. Bad news is it's in a different lot, so we're going over there now. Some F650s, a lot of F650s. Shoot, I don't know why they shove all this stuff in the back. It's the better looking stuff. I'd have this front and center on my lot. So obviously Ford's got the F650, whereas Chevy has the 4500, 5500, 6500. In the 450 range of Ford, you still keep the pickup chassis, whereas it takes up to the 650, or which would be equivalent to a 6500 on a GM truck, to get into the cabin chassis configuration with the larger front fender hood setup. I do like that they're putting the giant wheels and tires on them though from the factory, whereas GM likes to put them little tiny boogers. Well, this one's kind of parked in the bushes a little bit. We'll go in the passenger side. And yeah, apparently we're missing a seat. I wonder what these are going to be outfitted for. Oh my god, I hate new car smell. Probably the weirdest person in the world. I'm the only guy that I know that hates new car smell, but it's literally just the off-gassing of all the chemicals of what they used to build the vehicle, and it stinks in here. It's an instant headache for me. But I do like the vinyl floors, although this one's a little soft and cheap feeling, whereas the one in the GM's thicker. The feeling this one's going to end up getting torn with how much slop it has in it. I mean, not that we're here for a F650 today, but good to know. Well, here she is, ladies and gentlemen, 2020 F450 Platinum. I wish these things came with the bigger wheels and tires. They look goofy with these small wheels and tires. 2, 3. Hey, it works. There you go, we'll jump on in. Oh, it's got power running boards already. Let's see, close the door. Let's see if they're as slow as the Ram ones. I'm going up. Power steps on the Ram trucks are miserably slow. No, these are nice, quick.
What do you think so great about these?
I can tell you go look at a GM, this one's gonna be nicer.
It's almost the same.
You got way more storage here than you do in the GM. I do like that Ford does the black headliner, whereas GM kind of does that weird tan, even though the rest of the interior is completely black. So this one's already all nice and blacked out, even the visors. And then in case you can't back up a trailer, right there, that'll back it up or steer it for you.
Holy guys, let me put you over here, man, because you're the one who you gotta lift this thing.
Well, you're gonna be driving it, so make sure you like it. It's gonna be a weird transition if we do end up getting this today, because Pops is a GM guy, I'm a GM guy. Obviously, I've been looking at F450s forever, so we'll see if we end up leaving with one today. If not, we're probably going to the GM dealer, getting him a GM truck. One of the things I mentioned earlier is when I said that this truck was a little more option than I wanted. Like, none of us really like sunroofs, so having the whole panoramic sunroof, not exactly our thing. For me, a safety feature. If you ever rolled and slid across your roof, you like sheet metal up there, but it's hard to find one on a dealership that isn't fully loaded with the panoramic sunroof and all that. So unless you special order one, which right now with all the plants being shut down, good luck special ordering one. And then it's crazy how cram-packed these things are underneath the hood. So from 2019 to 2020, Ford just kind of did like a facelift on it, or like a mid-year change. They didn't do a whole lot. You got the new front end, well, really new grille kind of surround, headlights molded into the grille, obviously. You get the 10-speed transmission, which changed, and now I think they boosted the horsepower and torque numbers to hit 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, or I think a little bit over. Good news is there's not 20 grand worth of extras. I mean, there kind of is, but you're not paying 20 grand for 3 grand worth of stuff. I mean, shoot, this thing's almost the price of a F-150 with a 6-inch, basically rough country lift on it. Do got a 2020 F-250 over here. Let's see if it's the same code to get into this one. All right, apparently they're all coded the same. So this is an F-250, which obviously the interior is going to be pretty much the same. This one doesn't have the little trailer backup little thingy assist, whatever it's called, which to me, if you need a little knob to tell you how to back up the trailer properly, you shouldn't be pulling a trailer. But I think you can only get the trailer camera option with you having to order that package. So obviously I don't think we're ever going to use a trailer camera on that truck, but the problem is when you're not ordering a truck, you kind of got to deal with what the dealer has in stock. And again, like, that's the only one in town. I do really like how Ford is still offering the little touchless entry, or the keypad entry I should say. Now everything is touchless, but this is not. To get into your vehicles, I don't ever leave my keys in my vehicle. I never would, but that does make it convenient if you're not trying to dig for your keys, even though nowadays everything is just automatic keyless already. It unlocks when you get up close to it. But the one thing I don't understand is why Ford hasn't made it look any better than they did like back in 2003. It looked very similar to this. Like, we can't make this like integrated touchscreen or smoked in, so it's not just big clear rubber buttons. And the good news is, switching over to Ford, or if we make the switch to Ford, is well, you get round wheel wells, so you can actually fit good sized wheels and tires in there. I don't know, so far I don't know if we got Pops convinced that we should get him this truck. He not a Ford fan, but we'll see. He's gonna drive it right now, see if he likes it.
Oh, keyless?
Everything's keyless. Well, at least you still get a column shifter.
Yeah.
They got 360 cameras, rear camera.
See, somebody will come behind us. So how's it get that?
So it's got cameras in each mirror. Underneath it, you can see it there. It's got one in the front, and then it just computer puts them together somehow into making a clear image. Just enough digital dash, but still have real gauges. You're in off-road mode, or showing your off-road settings there.
How the hell we get out of that?
I don't know. There's 4,000 buttons on the steering wheel. Pick one. You got a lot of learning to do. Probably do burnout leaving the dealership. Sounded like they wanted to break loose.
Carlos, watch out.
Carlos, you're gonna have the whole family coming after you, buddy. Really know how to close that. There we go. All right, sunroof's closed. Yeah, I don't understand the sunroof. I don't understand, like, you get sun right in your eyes. At least it's got a blackout shade for it.
Let's see what this thing's got.
It'll do way more than 70.
Oh, it's got to have a cutoff point. No, I go 90, and that's it.
Cuts off at 90?
89 or something. That's it. It's slowing down.
We'll get rid of that. The one thing I've got to say about the 450s, if you compare them, even though I know it's a pickup chassis versus the 4500, GM trucks are on that medium duty chassis, but these things ride really smooth for being the weight ratings that they are. Should have adaptive cruise control in here to where it'll actually pace the vehicle in front of you. To me, cruise control has never made sense without that feature, because you're constantly having to tap the brake. If somebody cuts in front of you or slows down in front of you, which completely disables cruise control. So at that point, like, I never use it because you're constantly turning it on, tapping the brake, it shuts off, turning it back on. Like, I'd rather just drive the vehicle at that point. All right, cruise control set at 70, and it should pace that vehicle in front of us. You shouldn't have to touch anything. It should slow you down and everything. Let's see, if you got faith in a Ford. Yeah, it's slowing us down. So cruise control set at 70, we're going 60, pacing that Tacoma in front of us. So when you're parked, you can bring up your front camera and your 360 camera. I think you can change all this too. There's just your front camera. There's a weird 180 degree in the front, kind of goofy. That one I like, you can see your cargo in your bed. And I think that one is the trailer that's not hooked up. All right, gun it.
No, it's got, seems like something's slowing it down. See?
Yeah, are you not a Ford guy yet?
Still not a Ford guy.
We got some blemishes. I noticed a little something right there. That's 10 grand off right now. Richard, does this one have massage seats and all that? Hey, Zeus told me it did. I don't know how you access any of that. Got it?
Putting on the center here.
Oh, okay.
He's got one too.
Driver. Massage.
I feel something in my back.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Just wait till it starts hitting you in the butt.
No, it might be a little Chinese woman inside the seat. Shitting on my ass. I don't like it. I don't like the massage. But I guess a long trip you would want it.
Good news is on these trucks, a lot of stuff's already color matched. You do still have a lot of plastic on these Fords. I don't really ever like painting plastic, but a lot of plastic there. But obviously need to color match the whole front and get rid of any chrome on the truck. In typical salesman fashion, talking to this guy about the wide track axle, he's like, what is that? So he's going to look up the wide track axle. But the thing about these F450s is they do have the wide track axle, which is a tighter steering than even the 350s. So turning radius on these trucks is incredible. Let's see, this Rocky Ridge has a Fab Force bumper on it. Let's see what the markup on this thing is. 26 grand extra, $97,000 for a F-150 Raptor. Insane, absolutely insane.
Oh.
There you go, Grandpa. You got your grandpa step.
We don't need a grandpa stick.
Yeah, you got. Now you can get in the truck easier. You don't gotta grunt.
Oh, no. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. All that work.
All that work to get in the truck.
You think you just push a button, that'll happen.
All right, salesman just dropped me off back over here at the extra lot. I'm gonna grab my truck here so I can grab all my paperwork, and I guess now's the time we start talking some numbers and seeing if it makes sense. Still don't know if we've convinced my dad that he's a Ford guy yet. Worst case scenario, if we get him this truck and he hates it, I'm never gonna hear the end of it. Let's see what the appeal for these Rangers is. Oh, they're just basically cars with a pickup bed. It looks like we got dual screens maybe on either side. I don't like this speedometer. I don't know, something just feels like it's missing there. Feels too simplified. It almost looks like a Can-Am or a Razor. Well, they do got a decent sized screen in here. No space to store all my water bottles though. I mean, 2 cup holders is not enough. I guess we could fill the back seat with a bunch of water bottles. I'm not a center console shifter guy. Don't like that. Feels too much like a car. Especially having the parking brake right here. Like, why? This is such useful space. We couldn't put the parking brake lever down there. We had to put a hand one right here. Let's see, I'm looking on the other side here. Looks like the price on this one is $45,000. That's crazy. Paid $30,000 for my 1500 HD back in the day. So this truck actually, even for being obviously brand new, you expect low miles, but this thing's only got 20 miles on it, so it hasn't even really been test driven much, which is good because you don't want a bunch of people climbing in and out of it. Hasn't even really been dealer prep. Still got a bunch of stuff here. It's got these boogers, which Y'all know we don't believe in mud flaps around here, but it's got mud flaps. I think those are for the front. Obviously, being fully loaded, this one is set up with the fifth wheel gooseneck package in the bed. All of your connections over there. I do like that it has an external bed light button. I mean, these things are definitely really nice trucks. I'm not exactly sure what these are. If anybody knows what these are on the channel, they look like LED lights. I'm not sure, but I think, you know, my dad is kind of like apprehensive about driving a Ford, but I think we're gonna convert him, guys. We're gonna convert him to a Ford guy after he drives this. I don't even know why I want to convert him to a Ford guy, because I'm not a Ford guy. The good news is though, we've come to a price agreement. Everything looks good. They're giving us a decent deal on the truck, so now we just gotta go sign some paperwork. Our sales guy Richard's taking it right now. He's gonna go fill it up. I mean, at least we get 48 gallons of diesel out of the thing. The one thing I like about the F450s is you do have a 48 gallon option. It goes from 30 to 48 gallon. I don't know like if there's any in between options, but this one does have the 48 gallon tank option. So that'll be nice. I mean, I feel like you're gonna be filling up DEF fluid more often than you're gonna be filling up the diesel tank. All right, truck is back with a full tank. Now we opted to have them not take it in the back and wash it. Obviously, it's not really that dirty. The truck just showed up not that long ago. Hasn't been sitting on the lot for very long. So I'd rather have a professional detailer do it versus the guy in the back that could risk scratching a bunch of the stuff up. We're also obviously leaving all the plastic that came in it. You guys know, I mean, me and my dad are very similar in the fact that we leave plastic on everything.
Oh, right on.
There you go.
There we go.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, your next SEMA build.
Yeah, right? Can we build it for SEMA?
Yes.
What do you want, 20-inch lift?
Yeah, high as we can. We're gonna outdo everybody at SEMA.
There you go, all right. All right, looks like Pops is happy. I know he's not a man of few words and most of it is talking crap. So let's see what this thing looks like driving down the freeway. Ooh, that is a good looking truck, but man, do we got a lot of chrome and silver crap that needs to come off it, and Pops needs to stay in his lanes there. Come on. Thing's smaller than your Kodiak. You shouldn't have trouble staying in the lanes. All right, he's driving a little fast. The OBS don't want to keep up. We do have to make a quick pit stop though on our way back home. I noticed on the test drive, there's a Texas Roadhouse over here. I had never had Texas Roadhouse until D-Max Josh's going away party. And yeah, we gotta stop here for a second. Oh, good thing is Texas Roadhouse is doing a little drive up pickup thing.
You sign this for me?
Yes, ma'am.
And then here's your bread.
Thank you.
You want me to set it down here so it doesn't fall over?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All
Reach.
right.
Thank you.
I got long arms.
I know we don't like cash, but that's for you.
Oh, thank you.
I know you guys are tough right now,
Appreciate
struggling, so
it.
thank you. Have a good one. Definitely got to stop by Texas Roadhouse for some bread. And I know how hard it is for a lot of industries right now, especially if you're a server in the restaurant industry, so gave her a pretty good tip there to, you know, try and pay some of her bills. Well, it's a little dark out now, but the truck is back home. What do you guys think? Think it's a good looking combo right here? A little Tahoe F450. I'm really excited for this thing, guys. I don't know what we're gonna do to it. I mean, I've kind of got like, I don't know, I keep going back and forth. Do we go crazy insane, like Denali status of how far we went with that truck? Do we keep it like super practical tow rig? Because these things look great either way, no matter what you do to it. Leave down in the comments what you guys think we should do to this thing. I mean, a lot of options now, a lot of options. But with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel and allowing me to do all these cool things that we get to do in life and be around so many cool trucks. Like, you guys are absolutely awesome for providing us with that opportunity. I'd be honored if you would give this video a like, a thumbs up, as well as check out workforapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. Right, Gunner? That's right, that's right, that's right. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.